Hi, everybody. Well, thanks for being here. We're also going to be live streaming this conversation on LinkedIn. And everybody who registered, I saw a couple of names here. So thank you so much for being here. I want to introduce you to Tim for those of you who have never heard or seen Tim before. Before I tell you a little bit more about him, to me, it's one of my mentors in marketing. It's someone that if I have a question about how to do something better, I'm gonna go with Tim. And also, it's someone that it's always open to share ideas, and it's obviously he has 25 years of experience. I think a lot of the people who understand marketing, they can think that they know what they're doing, but you can never compete with longevity and seeing things happening on every year and seeing transformation and seeing evolution. And that's why for me, it's an honor to have Tim having this conversation with me today. So I'm going to read a little bit about Tim. This is a conversation, so I want everybody here to feel free to ask Tim questions and to help me get as much as information from him as possible. The reason why we wanted to do this is because we're seeing a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, startups making marketing mistakes. And we were like, how do we stop them from making those mistakes? And we believe in education. So we can share our knowledge and share a little bit of what we've seen through our work and through like helping a lot of different brands today with information, then we're really happy. We're really happy to do that. Um, so let me read a little bit to you. 1 second about Tim. So obviously he has a huge resume on things that he's worked on. But like I told you, he's obviously a marketer, a sales and marketing executive with over 25 years of experience driving growth in startups and many different established industries. He's a data-driven creative leader who specializes in direct-to-consumer strategies and innovative digital marketing strategies as well. His expertise includes acquisition marketing, e-commerce success, and omni-channel sales strategies. Now, I was going to talk a little bit about the campaigns he's worked on, but I want you, Tim, to share those with us today. Tell us few of the campaigns that you've worked on and few of the names that you've worked on that they can also relate in here from you.
Certainly. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. Many of you probably have not heard of me. I know this is slightly hypocritical because I make a huge point of trying to keep my digital footprint near zero. I'm the behind the scenes guy that moves all the levers and things like that. But again, I have worked with people that were just like 10 years ago, just starting up. One of the products I worked on very early on was a brand now that's on Fox News a lot. It's a sleep product called Relaxium. But I do a lot of different things. I worked with very small brands and integrated them into the health food channel retail divisions. It doesn't really matter about budget. But then I've worked with, I've done an infomercial with George Foreman. I did the Quick Trim Dry campaign with the Kardashian sisters. But those are, the big budget supported by big money campaigns. And I really work everything in between. I kind of fell into a niche, which I guess sometimes you do, where I specialize in natural supplements. However, what we hope to cover today is the foundational stuff you need to build a good house. You know what I mean? So whatever your product is, a supplement or, something new to, new car wax or whatever it is, foundationally the same rules apply. And the reason why, and I've been there, and that's the Karen, and I've seen the evolution of this business for 25 years. 25 years ago, it was still the Wild West, and it was called direct response. And there were no rules, and it was like printing money. It was so much fun. I've never had that much fun. I come from a traditional advertising background. I started with Hellman's Mayonnaise, Skippy Peanut Butter, and FedEx, many, many moons ago. So I started with more foundational. But one thing I loved, as soon as I got introduced to direct response, I'm like, wait a minute. What do you mean every station I spend money on, I have its own 800 number so I can track their results precisely? Like that was all so fascinating. But then again, laughable. Back then, 25 years ago, that's all we had. We had radio, TV, print, paper print, not digital print, and a phone number. But introducing a phone number to call and people to buy direct was innovative 25 years ago. So the good thing is I've kind of seen the transition from direct response into direct to consumer marketing. People often ask, what's the difference between direct response and direct to consumer? It's the difference between buying a used car and a previously owned vehicle. There's really no difference. It's just that there were so many bad actors in the direct response world that I got a really bad reputation. So some genius came up with, direct to consumer, like the genius who came up with previously owned vehicle instead of saying used car. But that's basically it. So again, it's like, and again, and in anything in life, you learn more from your successes, you do your mistakes. And as an independent contractor, consultant coming in to help, I've seen all the warts. I've seen everything. And this is the information I'm going to share today is from 25 years of trial and error. So basically, the foundational thing, what I love about direct to consumer is the foundational three principles apply across the board. Those principles are test, read, and react. You test the concept and offer a marketing campaign. You read the results and you react to what those results tell you. Don't get emotional. Don't fall. I also do creative, but it took me a long time. It's hard. I find myself still dripping. Don't fall in love with your creative. Don't fall in love with any of your messaging. The public will tell you right away whether you're onto something or not. But when you read those results, how you react, your next step is based solely on those results. You need to remove. And again, it's hard. And I mean, I know like some brands I bring on, these people created the brands themselves. It's like their third child, their other child. I understand that. So that's one of the disciplines that are hardest to understand. And it really is the truth. I mean, building your house is there. So what you have to do is you have to take in, all those kind of, those factors of what you need to take in. And, one of the basic foundational things is actually analyzing every offer before you put it out there in the world. Because so many people I have come across, and also too, like Karen was saying, I start with startups. I brought in by big budget companies to help manage the whole campaign. And in essence, what I do is I work like a general contractor builds a house. I know sheetrock, I know electric, I'm not going to do all the work myself, but I'm going to hire the best vendors, the best plumber, the best electrician for your house and your budget. In essence, that's what I do for a marketing campaign. I bring in all the outside vendors. I put them all together based on what your parameters and your needs are. And basically, I set it all up so you can manage it. And also, and let's face it, get them all nice, play nice in the sandbox is also something I do. But the idea is there. And then one thing, Karen, I like to share now is that I like to start at the beginning where foundationally, I wanted to show you this little something. Can I just share off? Shares open?
Yeah, share is open. Are you going to share the tool?
Yeah, the model. I was going to share the model.
We're not ready for that.
Oh, you're not ready?
We're going to bring that a little bit later.
I'm sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I thought this started at 2:30.
Don't worry. So guys, I want you to know that if you're creating a product that is direct to consumer, Tim has a tool that he's going to share with us that it comes with financials, which is like something super amazing that we're going to share it.
Okay.
But not now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Jumping ahead.
At the end of this conversation, I think in another 15 more minutes.
Okay.
But first of all, I wanted to ask you, because obviously if people here are joining us in the conversation, it's because they want to know how to make their direct-to-consumer strategy more successful in 2025.
Understood.
So I would like for you to share with me what is the number one mistake you keep seeing over and over again, people creating a product, launching that product, and that actually makes them go out of business. So I want you to share that with us. So
well, I mean, honestly, it's wasting the advertising budgets. you know what I mean, on ill-fitted avenues to pursue. The biggest thing you have to do, you have to, recognize what your budget is. And whatever the budget is, there's, in this day and age, thankfully, and also with social clothes and, and the social media, really what the social media affords you to do is do it. So the idea is kind of like, just be realistic on what your budget is and don't overextend yourself. It's like it's. I mean, I know it's an old adage and it's overplayed, but it really is crawl before you walk and walk before you run. So I see people there, oh, this is going to be great. This is the best deal in the world. We're going to make millions of dollars, and they throw 50 grand at it, and that's half their opening budget, and you literally get 2 orders because you didn't test the offer right. So it's really the whole testing phase, test, read, react. Not following those 3 principles are the biggest reason why people fail.
So you're talking once you're launching, this testing your offer, it's the most important thing before you even go to retail, before you even
but it's your message, your brand message, and that's your unique selling proposition. That's also one of the key factors, is having a unique selling proposition. It only what makes you different. You know what I mean? Because you really, and again, I'm just going to be blunt. And Karen will tell you I'm honest. If you're going to be a Me Too product, then you better have $40 million to spend on TV to cut into it. Let me give you a great example of a hot new topic right now is all body deodorant. Well, the person who started Lume, that was her unique selling proposition. He's like, okay, but unfortunately for her, fortunately for her, she was bought quite quickly. She has the funding to compete. But you know what the problem is? Dove and people like that only took them 6 months to knock her off and then hit the television with $30-40 million. So that's why. So unique selling proposition, and it doesn't have to be big. Like, for example, in my world of natural supplements, Mary Ruth's liquid vitamins. And the funny thing is, when someone comes up with a unique selling proposition, and that's it, delivery system in the supplement world, you know what I mean? So that was all it was. It was the same vitamins, the same stuff that's been in one a day for 50, 70 years now. She made it a liquid, gave people a different option, and the rest is, as they say, history for her. And things like that. And also, too, it doesn't have to be massive. Like, even if you look at the 3 biggest billion-dollar fast food chains, McDonald's changed the world. That was it. They created a whole new industry. So unless and again, people are into the different herbs. People are onto the new tech that's coming out. If you get ahead of it and you're going to be the first to market, it's even more important that you build your foundation and test correctly. But for instance, like, just to give you a great scope, is like, McDonald's was like, change the world with, hey, here's your burger. But when they made it, ketchup, mustard, mayo, that's how it came. So upstart Burger King comes around, 15 years later. What do? Well, they decide to flame broil it and counter the one major complaint, which is like, that's it. You had to get it with guess what? And what they do, have it your way. Their whole campaign was, flame broil him your way. Then comes along Wendy's. Like, who needs a third burger chain? What did Wendy's do? They kind of went on the whole thing with Where's the Beef is one of the most famous. It's a Mount Rushmore campaign for TV. You Google it. And what did they do? So they went after the fact that the burger patties were getting smaller and smaller, and the product development people was genius. So what did they do? Fresh, never frozen beef, unique selling proposition. But more importantly, their product development people made their patties square. And what happens when you put a square patty on a round bun? The corners stick out. The burger was the same weight, but visually, it looked like it was a bigger burger and people were getting more for their money. So I know it's a kind of wild, but I just kind of give you, sometimes it doesn't have to be completely different, just a little twist here and there that you can carve out a niche for yourself, and then you build on that niche. But you should think about your unique selling proposition and what's your reason for being is the real core to everything.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we just had a conversation a couple of minutes ago with someone who created a product that it's an amazing product, but he hasn't been able to connect with the audience and the people and explain the product. It's because he hasn't really worked hard on his value proposition. I mean, even though he has a great story and he knows, it's also how you communicate that to your audience. Now, obviously, you said you gave some numbers, and for all those people that they don't understand, when you have a product and you want to put it into the TV, we want Walmart to have it, and you want every retail store to have it. Tell me the things that we should avoid when we have a product, let's say a supplement, let's say any type of product that is direct to consumer. What are the things that we have to avoid?
Well, the thing used to be is that back in the day, 25 years ago, when before the FTC decided to come in and regulate the business, I mean, it really was the Wild West. I mean, it was like printing money. It was ridiculous what you could say. And I'm glad the FTC came in and cleaned it up. You know what I mean? So now it's a legitimate business. But the idea is that, the big mistake is that you really can't, you can't start, you need to start here. You can't start here. But back in the day when you were doing, I mean, literally, you spent $1 in media, you can do 5 to 1, 4 to 1, 6 to 1. Imagine that. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. I had clients investing $100,000 and this is $100,000 25 years ago. It's really a lot of money. $100,000, a week. And then by the following Thursday in their bank, they had $500,000. So what did you do? You took the 100,000 back, you replenished your media, and you had profit. So the idea is, the great thing about direct to consumer, in essence, when you get there, you can actually just repurpose the same media budget over and over and over again. That's why a good DR campaign, like I worked on a diet product called H57 Hoodia. We were spending $9 million a year on a $20 million product. Now, no budget would make sense in the big world. You know what I mean? You can't spend, nearly 30% of your, just on your media budget, but that same $100,000 was repurposing itself every week. So that's the key. So that's why I like DTC to start. The bottom line is that if you have retail aspirations, unless it's a gadget or a gift, like a gadget, like I'm saying, like a new, like a top coat, like I see them in a lot of those commercials now, like a new wax or a new something. But for the most part is that, companies don't like, and again, I'm sorry, guys, I've been in supplements for 25 years, so I'm always going to lean there, is like retail stores won't even take one product anymore, like one trick ponies. They won't even look at you because of just the financials. What?
Why not?
Because basically the retail stores are out to make as much money as they can, and they don't care about you. So my point is, if you have multiple products in their stores, you have more chance of success. And also, too, if you're a one-trick pony with one product and you go under and the product's not selling, they can't, they have nowhere to go to get their money back. Because that's the other thing, too. You in retail, and once you get there, because it's a push-pull relationship, so basically the major retailers aren't interested in that. That's why I recommend, for that purpose, too, for supplements, I recommend the health food channel. Because I know COVID killed a lot of small businesses in this country. It's terrible, but there are still a sizable amount of little health food stores available, small regional chains, and you start there because they want it. But the big businesses is that, they don't even want, they don't, that's why too, but that's why it's also good. But there are options. There are options where if you find a good distributor with a good foothold in your product category, say if it's hardware, a new screwdriver, your best bet in that reality is you need to get with a big distributor who has a lot of business with the retail chains and then go into their umbrella. It costs you more, you know what I mean? It eats away at your profit. But this way, the retailers have the protection that, they do so much business with these guys that they know this distribution company is going to take care of any downfall. So that's one thing to watch. But if you start smart and start small and grow, and wait till you make that push into retail, that's my recommendation. Because really back in the day when you're doing 5 to 1, like I'm saying, when you're literally quadrupling, quintupling your media investment in 7 days and the cash is in your bank account, it's kind of like you didn't need retail. Retail was an afterthought. So retail used to be, and that's what Karen was explaining, my 25-year growth. So it used to be like your bell curve. So when your DR campaign was starting to go like this, that's when you went into retail. Now, the end game is to be in retail right out of the gate, or in the supplement world at least, and you need to have a continuity program, an auto ship program. If your product is buy it and use it, and you need to replenish it. everything needs to have a auto ship program. But
And
that's
I
what the
wanted
difference.
to explain that part because we
Okay.
were discussing the other day about people not really plan their continuity programs
Right.
and the auto shipping. Can every single product have a continuity program? Should all of them have a continuity program? How is this connected with the customer service and the customer satisfaction and the customer journey?
Right. Well, yes. I mean, it all depends on your product. Like I said, is basically it's kind of hard. I mean, it is easier in the supplement world because of finite dosing. You know what I mean? You get 60 caps twice a day. That's 1 month. It's legitimate. It's regimented. Even in the topical world, like topical creams and stuff like that, it can change because no matter what you say, you might tell a person to use a dime size squirt, you know what I mean, of the product. And, and you measure that, that lasts you, that product, if you do that, the product will last you, 2 months. But then how many people are using a quarter size? How many people are using half of that? So the customize, and that's where the customization of continuity programs came in. So when you ship your first continuity order, because the biggest reason why the auto ship plans get canceled, continuity gets canceled, is stacking. Like they're not using it as much as they thought and it would be there. But yes, if it's something that needs to be used on a regular basis, but in lieu of a quote unquote monthly continuity plan, you can start like a buyer's club plan. You know what I mean? Become a member, with every purchase you get, again, it's all mythical math, but you just make it up. You get 10 bonus points. And then once you get 50 bonus points, you'll get 50% off your next order, stuff like that. So there's a lot of new wrinkles to non-supplement continuity plans, and those things are all available now because technology makes it available now. So you can do those things.
Tim, you were sharing about like all these different offers, up sales and down sales, right? That's what you were explaining. How do you create the best offer? Like, like, let's say right now I want to launch a supplement brand. How
Mhm.
do I make the decision? Who do I go to? How do I make a decision? How do I know if this is a good offer or a bad offer? How do I create my up sales and my down sales? That to me will be gold if you share that with us.
Okay, well,
I
that's
don't think
like
I've ever asked you this question
that's
before.
right. You know what? All the questions you've asked me, it's the first time. Honestly, it's kind of like this. I know it sounds, and again, I'm going to just speak to supplements. I'm not going to qualify it anymore, and I apologize to those of you that aren't interested in supplements, but it does print that. Really, honestly, it's again a very simple offer. It's a BOGO, a buy one, get one free with a 30-day money back guarantee. What this gives you is this, no offense. If it's someone like looking for a free deal, you know what I mean? Like just pay seven, and for a while, they're shipping and handling the continuity, pay only $7.95. And if you don't call within 10 days, we bill you for the whole amount and we start shipping you. Those deals are not looked upon very kindly anymore. In fact, MasterCard will no longer process those. MasterCard will not process a trial to force continuity. It doesn't happen. So what you want to do is you want to make a BOGO offer just because of purchase psychology. If someone is not willing to lay out 30, 40, $50, $20, or whatever the number is, in order to try it for free for a month, and if they don't like it, if it doesn't work for them, they'll get their money back, then that's not really a customer anyway. So really it's breaking down to and that's what I'm saying about that, but the BOGO offer, buy one, get one with that's the message. Buy one, get one, risk-free 30-day money back guarantee. If you're not happy for any reason, you know what I mean? Just call us and, and we'll give you, you'll get your money back. And that's no safer purchase on planet Earth. And if you can afford free shipping in there, because Amazon has really destroyed everyone's mindset and paying for shipping and handling. Although I have found that if you do like a nominal fee, $4.95, $3.95, but we'll get into that later with the model. People don't mind if it's buy one, get one free for $3.95 or something like that to offset some of your expenses, fine. But, again, if you can work free shipping into your model, that's even better. Because think about it. All right, I have a knee joint problem. The stuff I've been trying is not working. Here's the new greatest knee joint thing on planet Earth. But I can buy one, get one free shipping, and if it doesn't work for me in 30 days, I can send it back. You're going to try that offer if you're really interested. So that's where you kind of cut through all the clutter and you hit your core audience. And no offense, if you can't, then it's your marketing messaging. If you can't grab somebody with that offer, then it's your messaging's off.
Wow. Yeah, it makes sense because you
It's
really want them to try
pretty
it.
simple.
But you were talking about, and what if you get a lot of people sending it back? Then there's something wrong with the product,
Then you know there's something wrong with the product, the
and
return
then
rate.
you
But
can ask
that's
them for feedback.
yes, but that's where good customer service comes in. You'll see in my model later, I have a 2% customer service fee built in. So in essence, 2 cents of every dollar should be going to funding your customer service people. Even if it's one smaller, you can do AI, chat helps. I mean, there's so many other options, but that's the whole point. Then all of a sudden, if the product's not coming back and everything else, then you realize you have a problem with your product, like it's not working. Yes.
And Tim, obviously you work with huge budgets, huge budgets.
Yes, I've had,
What's
and
the
I've worked with 100 grand a month. So I mean, I'm flexible.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm still talking about huge budgets, right?
Yes.
For marketing and for advertising and
Mhm.
all of this. So, have you seen people having unrealistic expectations?
Everybody,
Talk to me
especially,
about that. Talk to me about someone that is starving.
everybody I come into contact with, because the majority of the people, this is their product, this is their dream, this is, they're entrepreneurs. They created this from nothing. You know what I mean? So, of course, it's like, oh, this is the great, and that's what's so funny when I start peppering them. Okay, well, what's your unique selling proposition? Or my other favorite one is, okay, what's your reason for being in 3 sentences or less? That's the first question I ask. What's the reason for your product to exist in 3 sentences or less? Why? Because that's 5 seconds, and that's how much time you have in this day and age to grab somebody's attention.
Wow.
That's your unique selling. That, is also dovetails into the unique selling proposition. So that's really it.
And it looks simple. It looks simple.
But no, but the looks I get. What do you mean 3 seconds? I said that's all you got, because that you're out there. Karen. I mean, God, the tremendous business you've built, and with social clothes. They read that little. They have 5 seconds. They're reading that ad. That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah, it's all about also building trust. We've been
Yes.
talking about your tool, which
Mhm.
I'm really, really happy that you're going to share this with us. For everybody here, like, feel free to comment on the chat if you have questions. We're going to let the last 10 minutes for questions. But I want you to first, like, show us the document. I
Okay.
want when he showed it to me when we were talking, actually that was one of the reasons why we said let's share this. Let's open the conversation because most of the people are making huge mistakes with their marketing budgets. But not only that, they think the marketing budget it's not aligned with the business model, but it's connected. You
Well,
can't create marketing without having the right business model. So I don't think your tool is just about marketing. It's a business model for anyone that is creating a product to have all these different things in consideration. Now, for anyone that is joining us today, or if you're watching the replay on YouTube or LinkedIn, uh, you can get access to this live document. Sending an email to Tim, I will add all the information. He was so nice that he's going to send it to you so you can use it, which is what makes me very, very excited. So we're
right.
going to show you here, but you can have a copy of this document as well. He's going to send it to you.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and again, I'm gonna do a version, Karen, as I told you, where I will kind of like highlight where to, what numbers because again, a lot of it you'll see will repopulate itself. I was going to do a little instructional thing, but let me share it with everyone. Hopefully, we can see it.
because financials are everything. If you run out of budget just because you were spending money on marketing, you're out of business. You're
Right,
out.
and that's it. And then people don't realize all the costs that come involved and get played. Karen, I mean, I guess I'll use you as the template. Can you see this? I mean, is it
Yes,
legible? Or you
yes,
need it bigger.
yes. I mean, we can all make it bigger with our screens.
Okay.
Yes.
So anyway, this is a direct response. Okay, see, it's funny. See how long this model goes back? I'm still calling it direct response. I haven't changed it yet. But here's the pre-media margin projection. And the idea and the concept here, and this is just a general rule of thumb, but this is Tim's rule of thumb, is that if you don't have at least 45% 50% margin, ideally 50% net margin roughly before you spend $1, then your costing's all off, or your price point's all off, or your offer is not found. Really, why? Because at least at 50% margin, you need to do it. You know, at 50% margin, that leaves you 50% of this calculation that can go to media. You can
And
spend
Tim,
50% of
can we
media.
go back to what are the things that I need to consider? Can you show us what
Yeah.
are the different things that I need
Well,
to
that's the
consider?
first thing I want to just give them a concept. So to consider that, you want to be at least there. You know what I mean? You want to kind of do it where it's at least 50% or down to 45. But the point is that if you are like at 30% net margin, you're upside down. Because what happens is the idea is to break even to get new people into your funnel, into your actual on top of the funnel, but get them into your silo. If your cost per acquisition can net out near zero, you're in a good foundation. So basically what you do here with this model is really simple, is supplement product X 30 count has 425 cost of goods, and this is on a BOGO offer. So you have quantity 1, and then you have the second quantity at 0. And then again, and this, like I said, to show you how this works, if your product cost is 375, you put that in, and then you can see how your margin jumped up. You know what I mean, by a point. So everything else will filter down from there. But let's just go back to that. I'm just going to show you how it works. So it's 425. And the reason why these are separate, because sometimes an offer could be like if you have a companion product. So you give away the hair growth product, and then you give away a, stronger nails, product on its own. So that's why they're separated. So what this gives you is, it gives you the price point, and then customer discounts. There's customer discount amount, but these are built in with the BOGO, so you don't have to worry. And this is what I was speaking of. You see the 495 shipping and handling. If you go here and you want to see what zero free shipping and handling looks like margin wise, you put that 0 in there, and you see that cuts your margin down by so think about it. That went from 53 to 46% just by eliminating 495. That's how much the little details matter when you're doing this. But we'll just leave it, and for now, for hypotheticals, it's 495 just to offset. And that's what also, too, is to show you don't have to overcharge for shipping and handling. So then basically it's your DR campaign fees. So fulfillment, and again, I've elevated these, assuming you're going to be starting with small volume. As you all know, volume dictates benefit. So basically, the fulfillment company usually charges you $2.25 to get it out the door. Your shipping, on average, is $6. Call center, I don't have anything here because typically we drive to web in the beginning. But if you get a call center, that will do it, and you need to calculate your percentage. If your call center is going to cost you 12%, and then boom, you can see how that drives your margin down. But we'll work on the whole, web only model.
Yeah, so for example, you're saying obviously a lot of the supplement brands, they need to have a call center for the customer experience.
Well, no, customer service you need.
Customer service, yes.
Yeah,
Customer
not, but the customer service, that's what I'm saying.
Can we should, like, if we have if we're also having like a bot on our website, or if you have a chat that we're using social media to sell, or I don't know, WhatsApp now that is, we should just change call center for that, right? But we also have to have something that's customer service, right? Which is
yes. Call center. This call center is for inbound call and inbound call taking. That's why I'm saying you should always allow 2%, because not everyone's going to have a problem. You know what I mean? So it used to be, and I haven't done any homework on it, but like for every, it's like a 10% customer service generation. So or 20% even, so maybe sometimes as high with questions and stuff. So for every 100 orders, you're going to get contacted 20 times on average. So that's why the percentage is lower here and why it's separated. But again, the beauty of the test, read, react, this all comes to light while the test, read, react process is going on. you'll start to see, oh my God, I'm getting a lot of customer service. Like customer service is costing me actually 5%. What's my model look like now? You plug it in there and you get the model and you see how that affects you. So that's what it is. So yes, I mean, the good thing about customer service, and people really do appreciate speaking to people. But there are, I mean, but you know, the AI technology is getting so terrific now. It's better, but that's also too is like know your audience. What's your reason for being? If your target audience is 65 plus, I would probably recommend finding a small call center and start with a call center out of the gate. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? If your target market's 20 and 30, you probably don't even need a call center because they'll do everything online and off their phone.
But you
So
definitely
that's
need
what
a
I'm
chat.
saying.
You definitely need a chat. The customer service is going to be different, probably not over the phone, but it's going to be on their phones with the chat. Because
Right.
we also want fast response to our customer needs. So, yeah, definitely, definitely.
And
And you
that and
know
that's
what?
yeah, and that's the beautiful thing is that's what I'm saying. That's what the purpose of, you know, having this model. So wherever you guys wind up, you want a free copy of this numbers. But yeah, I mean, you like I said, but 2%, it's like I said, the 2% comes from, you know, it's like, you know, it's like the 2% really comes from the you know, the idea of that not everyone is going to have a problem, but you need to be available. But to your point, Karen, yes, technology has helped a lot of the need for people to speak to. But again, too, if you're selling an item that costs 120 something dollars, you know what I mean, or it's 160, $180, or some of these new supplements, you know, like colostrum is very expensive. You know what I mean? A 1 month supply is $70. You know, someone just bought 3 bottles for $210. If they want to speak to a human, you need to, you know, give them access to a human. So again, every little thing is gauged based on your product, your price, your category and your core demographic. Okay.
And Tim, what are the different items or the fees that usually people that are creating products because they don't have any experience, they just have an idea, like we talked about, they don't actually budget.
Yeah,
What are the
here's the biggest
never
one.
budget?
Here's the biggest one I just highlighted for you in yellow. Get,
Returns?
guess what? Returns are going to happen. You know what I mean? They're going to happen. And again, when you're dealing with supplements, the efficacy of your product, that's why I always push. And I really only take on efficacious products now. But you know what? Everything doesn't work for everybody. Everybody doesn't like it. And so many new people. And again, keep in mind, like Karen was saying, I start with big budgets, but I'm also 50% of my business is the emergency brake glass guy. You know what I mean? It's not going well. And unfortunately, I wish I had these accounts and they had the, you know, several hundred. And I get them in their last 40 grand, and I have to make a miracle. I like the challenge. I do it, but you know what it looks like is that people don't, and that's the biggest mistake. People don't recognize that you need to anticipate. You need to anticipate returns before they happen, and then you know credit card processing fees. You know, depending on your bank and everything else, if you're smaller and using swipe, it can be even higher than that. But that's the whole point. And then also people tend to forget about fulfillment expenses. So that's why, you know, you need to have your service costs isolated and have an understanding of what your you know, what it takes to service the campaign. That is this is the number here that is what people often don't think too much about.
And you also have campaign management fees. What are those? Like you're talking about the team, you're talking about.
No, well, this is my model. After all, that's if you bring me on. I mean, sometimes if I think the product's worthwhile, you know, you know I work on a, smaller you know retainer, and then I work on a management fee, and I work off sales. So
Okay.
again, so
That
that's
will
what
be
that's there.
managing the whole campaign. Some people, they're entrepreneurs, and then they decide to take everything themselves, right? When they're solopreneurs. And do you think that's possible? Or do you think there's a ceiling for that, where you can start doing it by yourself, then there's a moment where you really need
Yeah, I just really, yeah, I think you can always, again, if you do foundational stuff, you know, the reason for being, again, if you follow the principles of test, read, react, and hold true to that, and you're trying different things, but you just, and to your point, Karen, like, for instance, the product is good, everything's good, but you just can't get the messaging to work. then it's okay to ask for help. You know what I mean? You should ask for help, and you should get a different set of eyes on this as far as managing direct response campaigns and breaking it down. But also too, you should also find that people that will do it for a reasonable fee.
Awesome. Okay, well, I'm gonna just let me just move a little bit. Oh yeah, let me go back here with you. We have two questions, and I don't know, Chris, you asked the question first, so if you want to unmute yourself and ask this question, feel free to do it. I think it's a great question.
All right. Yep. Yeah. So I created a card game, and I want to know if is the strategy different for a single purchase product. I know because you talked about supplements with something I have is with supplements being something that you have to buy once you run out. With a game, once you buy the game, that's pretty much it, right? Does
Right.
this strategy or is there a different type of strategy that you go for a single purchase product?
Well, no, it's really all the economics. You know what I mean? It's what you're charging for the game, and what it costs you to produce the game. Because one-off sales are difficult in a sense that you need your media to be really spot on, and that's where like someone like with a Karen and Social Close would come in, is to really identify your marketplace. What we recommend is so many people have national aspirations, but you don't need to be national. Like say if if you want to be local, there's nothing wrong with just testing in your state. You know
Hmm.
what I mean, to maximize your advertising budget. But unfortunately, I don't like to speak about things I don't know. But yeah, but with a one-off product, you just got to make sure your margins are there and you're charging the right value, for the card game.
And I'm also thinking about this membership that you mentioned, right? If you charge community, like
Well, okay,
community.
Chris, yeah, but yeah, true. But Chris, is there, okay, like, my son's into this whole, magic and then there's always new
Hmm.
games and new versions and new cards. Do you see the likelihood? Do you have things in your brain to or is it really like Yahtzee? Like Yahtzee is Yahtzee, a game. Yeah, I know
Right.
it's not a card game, but that just popped in my head. I don't know why. We play Yahtzee a lot over Christmas with the family, so I played a lot of Yahtzee the next couple of days.
Never played that game before, but
It's fun. It's fun. It's a fun game. So yes, there is opportunity for expansion in this game with expansion packs. And I've talked about how I'll do the marketing on that, and it'll be a little bit different than how most people do it. I think initially my focus is, hey, making sure the world knows the initial product first
Yep.
before I start thinking about like expansion packs and doing an app and all these other things. But I need to make sure the world knows, hey, this is what the product is, this is what it does, and let it do well on the sales first before I even think about expanding. But yes, it is on the radar. It is in the on the vision board. Yes.
Right, okay, great. But that's your continuity plan. So you do.
Mm.
So it's an initial one-off sale, but you do have longevity. Where, to Karen's point, you start a thing. Join the club. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Build a community.
you build the community. It's like 10% off here, and then it's like, see what I would do if I were you, and I'm going off just the top of my head. Like I would do like hits and tricks and get tips on how to perfect the
Yeah.
game, and kick the crap out of your cousin at Christmas. You know what I mean? That kind of
Hmm.
stuff. Get it all done and just do it that way. You start the community that way, and this way, guess what? You have a built-in, just like like I said, like I have something where, guess what? Like people with, joint pain, and then all of a sudden they come up with an arthritis product. We have our database already built. So yes, the first thing you need to do is cut through the clutter and get everyone's attention. And then what I would recommend is, like, there's no harm in starting, Karen, right? Am I wrong? There's no harm in starting small, because
No.
what that does is that will quintuple, if not, 10 times your. So many people go out there, like, and like when social, and there's the whole thing too. You understand? I literally did this before the internet was invented. So just
Hmm.
to tell you how long I've been doing this, and it's been fascinating. But everyone's like was so fast. I can reach 1 billion people, but the whole point is you can't support 1 billion people. So if you want to spend 20 grand, if you have 20,000, 10,000, whatever to spend, you spend that nationally. that's gone in half a day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So don't feel, I mean, it's kind of like the old, door-to-door salesman. So, and I like it too, is that where you're from, where you grew up, the cultures and attitudes exist, and like, again, if you can't tell, I'm from Jersey and we're a whole different breed over here.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend is, you came, this is from your brain. You came up with this and you don't even know all the things you grew up with that brought you here. But my point is stay tight, stay hometown, because you know the people. And if you can't get your peeps to buy in, speak to them because you know them, and that's what I would recommend.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You got
Yeah,
it.
so we have another question from Mira. Mira, I don't know if you want to unmute yourself to share this question with Tim. If not, I can, yeah, go ahead.
How about how can you sell the supplements that are close to expiration date, and should I have a percentage to allocate for the expired products in my expenses?
Yes, expiration date, and that's also too, and that's what you have to do too, because I have a whole models for inventory flow. Ideally, you shouldn't, ideally, I believe it's well, again, it all depends. Is it a 1 month supply in this product, or is it more than 1 month supply?
Like a 1 month supply.
It is. Okay. So my point is 1 month supply, you kind of want to you really shouldn't ship anything with less than 3 months expiration. Technically, some people won't notice, but that's what I would recommend. The other avenue, which is good, there's a company, and I don't know, and again, they've gotten so big, so don't quote me on this, but it's called Vitamin Angels. And Vitamin Angels, if you have a supplement, you can donate, and I believe that's 4 months dating, but you can send short dated shipments, and you can send the short dated inventory, and at least you get the tax write off.
Please.
It's the best thing to do for short dated merchandise. Or the relief funds, like the Red Cross. There's a lot of relief funds of Haiti, and we donate a lot, because I work with interesting enough, I'm with the bone broth company now as my major client, and like a lot of the stuff is sitting there and it's in cans and everything else, and we just donate. Again, different world, but we bigger company, but we just donated like a $500,000. We donated like a $500,000 to all the hurricane victims in Florida. So again, in a smaller world, there's different ways to do it. But if you donate product, you can write that off.
Okay, thank you.
You're
But
welcome.
still
Thank you so much.
needs to
You're
be
welcome.
allocated on the expenses because it's an expense.
Well, yeah, it is an expense and it's a loss. But again, at least it's a loss, so that's what you have to say. But then also too, but you should, again, test, read, react. Why do you have, why is it expiring? What's going on with it? So maybe it's a thing where, you want to do it. And I think, believe it or not, certain supplement and that's one of the things I am connected with. If you want to reach out to me, Keren will give my email address, and the thing is I am connected with some of the best manufacturing companies in the country, from topicals to ingestibles to gummies. And like I said, is that where you need to do your balance, and then you can also get extended dating. Most natural supplement companies, there's traditional 2 years, but there are those that actually are qualified to offer 3-year expiration date. You might want to be looking at different sources for your product.
Yeah, at the beginning you always have to find the best way to make the most out of your marketing and your first investment, right? The first amount that you're going to be using. Well, believe it or not, it's been almost an hour. We have 3 more minutes.
Well, I was late and I apologize.
No, you're
I don't know how to read. I just say
you know how to create this amazing marketing campaigns, but it's okay.
And to everybody, again, everybody who joined us, if you email me, I'll as a gift from Keren and I'll send you a live version of my model. I won't tell you how much it costs. It's all for you, and I would love to, again, anything I can do. I mean, I love new entrepreneurs, young people trying to make it in this business. So hopefully it'll be of a help to you. If you want it, it's yours. Just email me.
It's super important. Like I've heard that so many times, the right cost of your product, and people like to copy or benchmark and look at how much is this person charging and how much is this person charging, so I'm going to charge X. That's so not the way that you should
No way.
actually, create the price and the offer just based on other offers. I mean, it's good to learn and to see, but you have to have, again, your unique selling proposition when it comes to pricing, when it comes to messaging, when it comes to experience. And this is what people are going after now, unique things, special things. And just like you said, even with food, this small tweaks that are unique, it's what's going to make your brand stand out. Last question, and I want you to answer it in 3 sentences. Just, I'm joking.
I'm good at that. Go ahead.
Is it a good idea to launch a product next year? And is it a good idea based on, everything? Do you think it's a good idea? And if your answer is yes, let's close with 3 things I need to do now so I can have a better direct consumer campaign in 2025.
Well, yes, and it's really because again, technology has opened the doors where, use smartly, social media and everything else intelligently using the tech available. Yes, it's always a good idea to launch a new product. I mean, because everyone's like, everyone's there. And really, it's really what it is that do your research, look at the landscape, look at your competitive landscape, use that. You know what I mean? Use that and do your research, model out your pricing and your offers to make sure you're not upside down before you get started, because that's all you'll be. And then the next thing is start small. Don't, you know what I mean? You start small with your, where you're targeting, where you're marketing, and in this way expand, to get the most mileage out of your advertising budget. That's the key. Don't burn it all. Don't roll the dice. No matter how something great, and I don't know if it's the greatest offer you've ever heard, but you're going to burn 70% of your budget on it, because if it doesn't work, then you're dead. So just start small, crawl, walk, and run. That's all I can recommend.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Tim. I learned a lot. I saw some emojis of reactions here as well. And I hope we can have the next part 2 in a couple of more months, and
Right.
hopefully we get some good experiences that of people that actually listen to you today, and then they switch the way that they were doing things.
Yep.
So
And just make sure. I'm sorry. If you can't tell, I'm traveling. I'm in a hotel. So it just glitched out. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, yeah, I said thank you, and thanks everybody
Okay.
for joining us today. I'll share, please, if you're on LinkedIn, send me a DM. I'll send you Tim's information. You're also on this event. You're also there on the invite, so people can reach out to you via LinkedIn as well.
Okay.
And well, again, thank you everybody, and please take advantage of that tool, because you really want to have the right and the best pricing for it. Thanks, and I'll talk to you very soon. Goodbye.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Karen. This was wonderful. I appreciate this. This was a lot of fun. Can't wait for the
Thank
next.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.